Hello, Michael. Hello again.
Hi,
Yeah, I
welcome. Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to you today about this issue of displaced PMETs. Can you perhaps talk a bit about what you're doing for them at this moment?
Oh, okay. I've got. I'm actually helping a friend.
Mm,
He has this desire to help PMETs who got
yep.
displaced and get into. And for me, because I've got a fairly large network of HR, generally HR people.
Mm,
So I say, hey, why not I kind of piggyback with you and help
yeah.
you out on that.
Yeah.
And so there are basically three areas that I help PMETs in. The
Mm,
first one is I believe uh, all PMETs that get displaced must know your personality. In this
mm.
case, your your preferences.
Yeah.
And so I help them by doing a proper personality profile. And in
Mm,
this case, the personality profile, the two most common ones which I have been using would be Big Five.
mm,
The other one is called genetics.
yeah.
And based on these two, either one of them, the individual will then identify his or her own strengths and her own gifts. And
Mm,
based on that, we then say, okay, based on what your strengths are, I think you should be focusing a lot in this particular industry. Say,
yeah.
for example, if this individual is very much people focused, then and a very ideal industry would be the hospitality industry or in the service industry. So in
Mm,
this is where the individual would be able to maximize his or her gifts and her strengths. So that would
yeah.
be one area. The
Mm,
second one is we would want the individual to uh, uh, work up his or her CV, all right, her CV and her profile.
yeah.
And a profile, we will help the individual to brush up that profile. Another
Mm,
area we would like the individual to look at would be LinkedIn. And
mm,
in LinkedIn, because I understand about 80 to 90% of the job search today is on LinkedIn. So
yeah.
if your profile is on LinkedIn, chances of you getting a job match is very, very high.
Mm,
So we help the individual to work on that. And then
yeah.
my friend does the other part, and that is the interview techniques, how to overcome some of the resistance or some of the questions in the interviewers will ask, and how
Mm,
you're going to ace that. So that will be one area of of help in
yeah.
which I'm helping out the
Yeah.
PMETs
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Wow,
Mm.
wow. That's very generous of you to help PMETs
Thank you.
during this very difficult
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly a difficult time for PMETs, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
What are some of the difficulties that you see when you are helping them?
Number one would be the the loss of face
Mm,
because I just got retrenched
yeah,
and they feel, oh, why should I know there's a loss of face. So I always tell them never there's no shame
yeah,
in
yeah.
failure. Now is the best time to tell your contacts, to tell your connections, hey,
Mm,
I'm looking for a job. There
yeah,
is no shame at all in
mm,
failure,
yeah,
right? Because the more you say, hey, I'm shameful about failure, the worse it becomes. So that's number one very important thing. Number two, I always tell them without fail, and that is to widen your network. This is very critical because if you cannot be sitting at home and wallow in your into self-pity. The moment you go
yeah,
into self-pity, you the next step will be depression, right?
yeah.
So you need to step up and need to step up meaning do something during this time because if I am the interviewer, my first question is to ask you, so what have you been doing
Mm,
during the time that you lost your job and up to today? What have
yeah,
you been doing? Have you been
yeah.
sitting at home twiddling your thumb, or have you been out there to actively search, or better still, have you volunteered your time to help other people?
Yeah.
Zig Ziglar, I don't know whether you know him. This
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with his with his sayings, and he said
Yeah.
this: if you want to enrich yourself, help other people to get what they want, and then you will be enriched. So in this case, help other people, and when you help other people, you yourself will be enriched. You never know. That's where you widen your network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow. Okay. So that's the common difficulty that you see,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
loss
I'm
of
saying.
face,
Yeah.
and possibly falling into depression when they experience this.
If they stay too long at home, then they become paralyzed and not
Mm,
go forward. Another area I would encourage them is to continue to to have a growth mindset. Don't
mm,
have a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset means, oh, I was in the oil and gas. I must continue. My next job must be in oil and gas. I think that is very tough.
yeah.
And you remember right now in the newspapers, they were saying about SIA had to freeze the cabin crew,
Yeah.
the jobs in the cabin crew. And what did they do now? Most of the cabin crew is now helping out, becoming ambassadors, transport
Mm,
ambassadors, going into the hospitals, becoming working in the non-critical areas to help the nurses and the health professionals. And I
yeah.
thought that is very, very good. Yeah, helping.
Mm,
So in that way, you go into a growth mindset and not into a fixed mindset. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Sure.
Mm.
And that's really important. I mean,
Yeah.
in your experience, how can we actually help them to move out of this difficult time?
How to move them out is I would use this is one of my favorite phrases. Hey, I'm a river,
Mm,
not a reservoir.
mm,
You get it?
wow. Yeah.
I'm a river,
Yeah.
not a reservoir. What
Mm,
happens to a reservoir? You keep
yeah.
still.
Mm,
You have a fixed mindset.
yeah.
But a river, you have a growth mindset.
Mm,
And so don't keep still. Start go to the library, read books,
yeah.
attend webinars,
Mm,
get ideas. So in my case, during the lockdown, I tell myself I want to attend at least 30 webinars.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. And in the last 2 months, 2.5 months, I think I went beyond 30 webinars. So
Wow.
that is where I kind of enrich myself. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Sure. So encouraging them to have a growth
Yeah.
mindset and not just staying still.
Mm.
Is there any
Correct.
other
Correct.
suggestion that you might have?
Any other suggestions?
Yeah.
I can only offer the baton, but the individual got to take the baton and run for himself or herself.
Mm, mm,
I can't do anything more, right?
mm,
I can tell you, John. Hey, honey is very sweet,
yeah.
but how do you know honey is sweet? Until you taste honey yourself.
Mm,
Yeah. So you've got to take the step, that one small step forward. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thanks so much for the insight, Michael. I think
Sure.
that's really important about taking personal responsibility
Yeah.
and then also having the growth mindset. As we prepare to end this interview, was there
Mm.
anything else you wanted to talk about in terms of the displaced PMETs or a
Uh,
word to them that you
a
might
word to
want
them.
to encourage them with?
Okay. I think I want to share with them what when I was in organization, my director spoke to me, and during my annual performance appraisal, he,
Mm-mm-mm.
he gave me one positive statement, which I treasure up to today, and that it is this. He said, Mike, I find you teachable. I said, huh? What do you mean by that? He says, you are constantly looking for new things. You are constantly looking for a thirst for knowledge. And therefore, I like your teachable spirit. I say, whoa, thanks, boss.
Yeah.
And from then onwards, I took that to heart, and I've been using it uh, from the time I was in organization. Of course, I left the organization, uh, and sadly he has already passed on already. So, but what his words kind of ring very very true to me. Yeah. So, am I teachable? That is very important.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks so much for your time today, Michael. All that
Sure.
insight and wisdom is definitely going to be useful to people who are helping people through this difficult time, and also the PMETs themselves. Thank you so much.
Sure. Most welcome. Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you.